Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Generation X Nation. First things first, thank you to everybody who has looked at a video, who has subscribed, who has liked, who has left a comment. You guys know I get back to y'all every time. Okay. What I'm gonna do today is some hot topics, and we're gonna get through this real quick. Again, hot topics is not my thing. However, these articles and stories keep popping up on my feeds. So I just decided, let me just talk about them. Okay. Again, I'm changing my channel up a little bit and get into more topics outside of reality TV. Now, with that being said, everything that I say is alleged, in my opinion. In my opinion, remember that freedom of speech and for entertainment purposes only. We're going to get these through these four topics real quick. It's not much to say on them because we done seen this on, we've seen these topics on millions of channels on these social media platforms. So I'm just going to give my take as a woman of a particular age. Let's talk about the Cardi B and Nicki Minaj beef. Not going to be long. But listen here, I know I'm not that familiar with all of their music. I know they are female rappers. I've heard their music before. I know who they are. I remember they had a fight somewhere back in the day at the Met Gala. I know they made a song together with the three amigos and Cardi and Nicki on there. So at one point they were friends. They are no longer friends. I don't know how that beef started because I don't get that deep into their music. However, both these ladies are talented. It needs to stop. I think Nicki went too far. And Barb's, don't get off, be careful coming at me, but hear me and hear me clearly. I don't care if Nicki and Cardi fight all day amongst each other. Who's the best, who's not the best. I don't care if the fans fight. Right now, Carly is winning. She's breaking the records. Nicki seems to pop up whenever Cardi makes some type of achievement, whether it's a new collab with somebody or a new contract or whatever. Cardi does something that she's in the spotlight. All of a sudden, Nicki pops out of nowhere. Nicki be laying in the cut somewhere, then she comes out whenever Cardi does something, or some of the other female rappers. Nicki has had a problem with a lot of other female rappers. I don't know why. Again, this is just my opinion because I don't have a dog in either one of those fights. But my problem right now with Nicki is you looking kind of weak because you bring children into it. And that's what we don't do. And then for you to call one of Cardi B's child a monkey, that's where you cross the line. If you guys can think back to Erica Mena or Mendez, whatever her name was, on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, calling Spice a monkey, and it cost her her job, then you know what I'm talking about. That is a very, very racial term. You should never have said that. You went too far. Again, just my opinion. I understand Nicki's from the Caribbeans. I know Cardi B is Latino, but they are people of color. You should never call anybody of color a monkey. Nicki, I think you went too far. I know the Barbs ain't gonna think so because they don't think Nicki ever does anything wrong, but you got to think about that. Next up, we're gonna talk a little bit about Portia and Simon. Simon, you are probably the most thirstiest house husband I have ever met. Promise to God, you want more attention as being married to Portia from the Real Housewives than any other husband that's been on that show. Some of them husbands we don't even hear, barely see. They don't even want to be filmed. We barely hear from Apollo, who used to be on the show. We rarely hear from Peter. Well, Peter's in jail now, but Peter went on, opened up restaurants, did his thing. I'm like, good Lord. You are always up first of all, you got what you asked for. You married Portia thinking you was marrying up. She felt she was marrying up. She felt you had money, not knowing that you probably was trying to use her to get legitimacy and get on that show to make even more money. And the whole plan just failed. Portia found out you had some shaky business in your background, found out your citizenship wasn't what you said it was, and she bailed on you. And now you pissed off. Now you banned from the United States, thinking you can come back in. When you get deported for being here legally, normally you're banned for 10 years, but I think they banned you for life. You're not getting back in. You can appeal all day. They don't have to even listen to you because you're not a citizen. You're not even in the United States. With that being said, that's the same argument that you use at the courthouse saying, hey, I don't even live in America. The court can't enforce anything, so I'm not paying the $40,000 a month alimony that I promised. Can't have it both ways. Now, Portia, I get it. That's what you asked for. Now you out there sweeping leaves outside your backyard, into the pool because you can't hire I guess, the handyman and the pool boy to do it anymore. Portia, sell that house, pay off your debts, and move on. Close this chapter. Let Simon talk to himself. Simon gets on the internet and decides he's going to block Portia from getting dual citizenship in Nigeria and make sure she don't go to that Netty December or whatever it is they do every year over there. Portia's like posting back like, I done got 16 sponsors already. I got American passport. You gonna block me from coming to Nigeria? I don't need Nigerian citizenship. She doesn't. You trying to get American citizenship. She doesn't need Nigerian citizenship. All she needs is a visa to go back and forth, if that's it. So, Simon, you're losing this one. Go somewhere, sit down, reevaluate your life. Okay? It may be that you may never come to America again. Portia, sell that house, pay off your debts, call it a day. I know he promises you could stand there for a year, but baby, if he ain't here to pay the bills and you're struggling, save your money, get the hell out that house, buy something cheaper. I get it. Oh, the kid grew up here, she used to it. Baby, kids adjust wherever you go. All right? Y'all need to stop. Get off good Beyonce's good internet with that mess because we tired of hearing it. Next up, we're going to talk about Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner says she needs her child support raised from $5,000 a month to $35,000 a month so her son can become accustomed to living like his dad and the wife is living. Brittany, you are a clown, okay? And I get it. They said the guy got a new contract for $90 million. Now she wants more money. Ladies, let this be a lesson. The days of marrying these rich guys and thinking you're going to be living off of 30, 40, $50,000 a month, those days are closing in fast. I'm seeing case after case where these guys are like, hey, you're not getting all my money. I've seen case after case where the judges are now catching on like, okay, this is too much. You young girls out here on Instagram trapping the ballers and the shot callers, trying to get this check, baby, and think you're going to live off, live entirety like the wags, the wives and girlfriends of celebrities or the housewives or the basketball wives, them days are clocking in. And you know why? Because shows like that expose them. When you see basketball wives, housewives, wags, I think that's wives and girlfriends of I don't know, celebrities or sports stars or whatever, and you see how some of them are living this lavish life off of the alimony, off of the child support. A lot of people are taking these examples to court and showing the attorneys, hey, they're not doing anything but just living off of my money. They not really taking care of the kids. They got nannies or their moms living there with them to do it. They're just enjoying a lavish lifestyle off of the salary of the player. Now, I'm not knocking the player. I'm not taking blame off of him because he should know better. He should know how to strap it up if he ain't looking to be a baby daddy. Because we know what these young girls are looking for. They go down there, they get all made up, prettied up, get the bust down weaves, nice body, slim waist, big booty, and just lay the thirst trap. And y'all fall for it every time. And then when you men fall for it and you run into one of these women and now she milking you, then you go on social media and you want to put all this out to make them look bad. Both of y'all look bad, in my opinion. The one young lady, I forget her name, but she just sued the basketball player because she wants more money after he paid her the $millions and something for child support up front for the 18 years. She figured out, oh crap, this ain't gonna last me forever. No, I'm gonna take him back to court because I want more money. See, these guys are getting smarter. I'm not saying they're getting smarter in sense of not having protected sex and not creating babies, but they're getting a little smarter in how they maneuver these child supports. The women are trying to beat them to the punch because everybody runs to California and filed a case because apparently California is the state with the more lax laws and you can get more money out of them. They don't want to file it in Texas or Florida or places like that. They run to LA. LA is very female friendly when it comes to alimony and child support from people who have means. So just a lesson learned, ladies. Um, you may end up having to get a job. Okay. And that's where Brittany is at. Brittany may win. I don't know. Brittany problem is like a lot of other women who run in these circles. If you run too deep into these circles, you start to age out and you no longer the new hot thing. Because these men have a specific taste. kind of like the Diddy thing. They like them young. Brittany, you're about 30, close to 35 and up. You're aging out. And if you don't lock down a ring and a husband by then, the likelihood of that happening is going to be slim to none. Or you could do a Drea and find some young guy who ain't figured it all out yet and trap him into marrying you. That's 20 years your senior. That could be your son. Because that's what Drea did. Because she was aging out. Y'all know it. Her son was 20 something. She had made it through the system with a bunch of different dudes, and nobody still had wifed her up. The one last guy she was with, remember, she was in his house and he promised her she could stay there. And then after they broke up, he told her to get out and he evicted her. I'm not saying she's not making money. She got her own little clothing line. She do fashion over stuff. But LA is expensive. We all know California is a very expensive place to live. So even though they're making that money, the money you make in California don't stretch as long as if you lived in Alabama somewhere. Let's be realistic. That $5,000 Brittany Renner making a month, she could probably live good in a smaller town. But you want to live in LA. LA is expensive. Okay? But keep that in mind. You ladies are out here trapping these men, and these men are out here allowing themselves to be trapped. And at the end, it's going to be a fight if you're not the one that he plans on spending the rest of his life with. Now, once he puts the ring on, y'all get married. If it doesn't work, whatever, then do what you do, okay? Because you got kids involved, you got houses, properties, maybe a prenup that y'all signed. I can understand that there were promises made. But if you're just out here getting pregnant by these guys because you want to check to live these lifestyle, go get a real job. I applaud April. I forget her name, but she has the baby by Amarion from B2K. I applaud her. She said, "Hey, I had to go back and get a job." She went back to be an X-ray tech or a nurse or something. I forget, but at least she took enough common sense to say, "Hey, these checks ain't what they should be. I live in California. I'm going to get me a job. Ain't nothing wrong with some honest work. Nothing. You girls are young. Y'all in y'all 20s, early 30s, and you expect this child is only going to make it to eight. These checks are only going to make it till he turns 18. And then that's it. So while y'all out here milking these guys, I don't know. Just in my opinion, if he's not wifing you down and trying to build a life with you, be careful having these babies. And if it don't work out, you go on to the next guy and the next guy. Because at some point after you finish as they say, spinning the block, like Brittany Renner, who sat on TV and said she'd been with 35. We can add 36 because Kevin Gates was after she did that interview, maybe a few more in there. She could be at close to 40. And she's mad because they're using her past against her. She can't find nobody to lock her down now. Now she's running after him for more money. She had a check coming in on the basketball wise, but her attitude, her disposition, they probably kicked her off the show. That was a steady check for you, at least, a couple months out of the year. That would have been a nice little fat check. And you saying the reason you was like that is because, I just couldn't take it. Miss Jackie was so toxic, just like my mom. But yet you and your toxic mom are standing on the front porch cussing out your baby daddy because you're mad that he has more money than you. So all around, then you fake being a Muslim to be with Kevin Gates because you thought he would lock you down and get some of his money. All around, let Brittany Renner be a lesson. Judge Judy said it best. Okay, beauty fades, smart is forever. Brittany still thinks she got the beautiful body and her beautiful looks, and that's going to get her somewhere. It's going to get you in the front door, baby, but it's not going to lock you down because of your history. Because of your history. Women, stop being thirst traps. Stop spinning the block with these dudes. Stop being an industry girl going from dude to dude because you're going to end up like the Brittany Renners, the Melissa Fords, the Evelyn Lozatos, the Amber Rose. All you're going to be is a memory to a lot of people that are going to get on a podcast and talk about how they paid you $2,000 to do this or $5,000 to do that. Don't be that girl. That's just a lesson learned. Brittany Renner, all I can say is you had a job, you blew it. You might want to find another one. And last but not least, housewives of, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just going to say this real quick. I guess Marques, Tricia, and Ken. Okay. Oh my God. So Marquez apparently seen a picture of Tricia and Ken doing some exercise together. He made a quote about you better not be in my house. Then he went and filed, I guess, a motion in the court that said that Tricia and Ken were breaking the the I guess the thing they put in a divorce decree that he could not live with them. He said they had broke that rule. So he filed a motion to bring them back to court. And I guess the judges in Huntsville or Madison County are just tired of these people from that show. And just in my opinion, they were tired of them. And that judge said, look at here, I'm bringing y'all in. Nobody, both of y'all better show up. If anybody calls off and say they can't be here, you're automatically getting 30 days. So when they get into the courthouse, whoever's telling the truth is going to walk free. Whoever is lying is going to do at least 6 months or more in jail. He's over it. He said, and you will not manipulate this court. And I believe that the judges are talking to each other and they're watching how this whole Melody and Martell thing has played off. They're watching how this Maurice and all these content creators and that older lady, I want to call her name, that was in the hospital, and how they suing each other, and that's playing off in the court. And I guess they said this show has caused us more frivolous lawsuits and bullshit in this courtroom that I'm just going to start setting a precedence going forward. Any cases come in that is associated with this show, we gonna end it right now. No more drawing this stuff out. And I think that's where the judges are at. And they're probably all talking to each other. So Martell, I can guarantee you, you better chill out harassing Melody. Because I think that judge is going to lay the hammer down. And I think every other judge going forward is going to start laying the hammer down when these lawsuits and stuff come in on this show. It just has to stop. And last but not least, Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton is now on the apology tour. She's apologizing ahead of time for what happened on that show this year with her niece. I don't think it should have been brought to the show. I don't think she should have done it on her podcast. I think the niece needed to go to some intense therapy and work out whatever issue she had with her family, her dad, her stepmom, her aunt's alleged husband, allegedly who essayed her. That needs to be handled family through the family system first, through therapy. Then you bring it to the show. I don't think that young lady has healed. And remember, her brother had already lost a daughter already. And now this daughter is out here doing this. You should have not used your niece as a storyline. I just think it's just in bad taste. I'm sorry, it's in bad taste. And I think she's getting the feedback she's getting now, looking at it. She realizes, oh my God, I probably shouldn't have done that. But it's too late. And to see Toni Braxton behave like that, jump up and almost knock Tamar off her boots. Let me tell you something. The only person I'm blaming right now is Evelyn. Evelyn and some of the, I would say Evelyn. Evelyn has let Tamar get away with murder. The other sisters, the older sisters, have Tawanda, Trina, and Tracy, God rest her soul. They have always tried to check Tamar, but everybody's baby Tamar. Tamar is a spoiled brat as a child, you could tell, and she's a spoiled brat as an adult. And she does what she wants to do. You remember how disrespectful she was to Ayala Van Zant when they was trying to fix the family problems. And Toni, as the oldest, was just sitting there watching. Toni knew all along all this stuff was going on. But even Toni said, okay, I let it go too far. You guys let it go too far. Tamar, sit your behind down before I wear you out. Because the mother's not putting her in her place. The rest of the sisters is like F her. They tired of her. Allegedly, when Tracy left here, they wasn't in the best of terms, but I think they made up right before she passed away. They have let Tamar get away with murder in this family, from what I can see. And now they're trying to check her. She's a grown woman now. It's too late. You see how she interacts with her friends. You've seen what she did to the other content creator, lied about getting her teeth knocked out and all of that. Tamar needs help. And she keeps saying she's in therapy, but I don't think it's working. I don't think it's working. And with that being said, I'm going to stick with my opinion. I think it was the wrong time to bring her niece on the show. Last season, y'all storylines was your nephew and your ex-brother-in-law who y'all treated like crap, and y'all used y'all sister's passing as a storyline. This season, you're using your niece who was essayed by somebody in a family as a storyline. Like like Tony said, this show is a chitlin circus. Should have never brung it to. Tamar, you were wrong for that. I'm sorry. It's just very distasteful. And with that being said, this is Generation X Nation. I am about to get off these airways. Y'all be safe, be vigilant. It's rough out here in these streets. Keep praying. God got you. Don't let these people run you off of anywhere, okay? Stand tall, 10 toes down to whatever you believe in. And y'all have a great rest of your day. Peace. This is Gen X Nation. Oh, one last thing. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share, people. Share. This is your next nation. I'm out.